The Secret Doctrine of the Rosicrucians by Magus Incognito. Part 2, The Eternal Parent. In the Secret Doctrine of the Rosicrucians, we find the following aphorism of creation. The first aphorism. The Eternal Parent was wrapped in the sleep of the cosmic night. Light there was not, for the flame of spirit was not yet rekindled. Time there was not, for change had not re-begun. Things there were not, for form had not yet represented itself. Action there was not, for there were no things to act. The pairs of opposites there were not, for there were no things to manifest polarity. The eternal parent, causeless, indivisible, changeless, infinite, rested in unconscious, dreamless sleep. Other than the eternal parent, there was not, either real or apparent. In this first aphorism of creation, the Rosicrucian student is directed to apply his attention to the concept of the infinite source of all things, the eternal parent, from which all things proceed. This eternal parent, the infinite unmanifest, is represented by the Rosicrucians by the symbol of a circle, having nothing outside of itself and nothing within itself. The circle, however, must not be interpreted as conveying the idea of limitation. Rather, it is intended to convey the idea of limitlessness. The symbol, although the best possible for the purpose, is inadequate. This by reason of the impossibility of representing the infinite by a finite symbol. The only adequate symbol of the eternal parent would be that of infinite space. This, of course, cannot be represented by a sign, for no matter how wide the circle might be drawn, there would always be space beyond it. But, recognizing the impossibility of an adequate symbol, the ancient Rosicrucians have adopted the empty circle as the best possible finite circle of the infinite unmanifest. The concept of infinite space has always been regarded by the Rosicrucians as the best possible concept with which to think of the infinite unmanifest, since the latter cannot be actually thought in consciousness as a thing. And consciousness, is capable of thinking only of things. Strictly speaking, infinite unmanifest is a nothing rather than a thing. And yet such a nothing as implies notness or naught, but rather such a nothing as implies the possibility of everything, yet without the limitations of thingness. Infinite space cannot be considered a thing, for it has none of the characteristics of a thing, and yet infinite space cannot be denied actual existence and presence, roughly speaking. It may be defined as a no thing, containing within itself the possibility of infinite thingness, or the infinite possibility of things. Infinite space must be thought of as the absolute container of everything, whether manifest or unmanifest, for outside of infinite space there is only nothingness. More strictly speaking, there is no outside of infinite space. Infinite space, therefore, has always been the accepted occult and esoteric symbol by means of which men are able to think of the infinite unmanifest, the eternal parent, wrapped in the sleep of the cosmic night. In one of the ancient occult catechisms, the question was asked, what is that which ever has been, is now, and ever shall be, whether there be a universe or not, whether there be gods or not? And the answer is space. The strength of this symbol of infinite space, as indicating the infinite unmanifest, is perceived when the mind tries to think, or even imagine, the absence of infinite space, either as absent before its creation, or else absent after its destruction. It will, of course, be discovered that the human mind and the human imagination finds it impossible to think of space being absent in either event. The mind is compelled to think of space as being infinite, as being eternal, without regard to whatever else is held to be either present or absent at any time. Past, present, or future. At the same time, the mind finds that it is unable to define space as a thing. Yet it dare not regard it as a nothing or a naught, N-A-U-G-H-T. It is found that infinite space must always be thought of as necessarily eternally present, and yet ever free from the limitations of things. Moreover, as infinite space is invisible and beyond the other senses, it cannot be known or cognized as a thing. Thought regarding it must always report not this, not that regarding it. And it answers to the ancient sage's statement of reality that the essence of being is without attributes, formless, devoid of distinctions, and unconditioned. It is different from that which we know and from that which we do not know. Words and thought turn from it without finding it. The wise answer only by silence all questions concerning its nature. To all suggestions concerning its qualities, properties, and attributes, the wise simply answer, neti neti, not this, not that. Of that, the wise assert simply, it is. And as other ancient sages have said, the imagination, the understanding, and abstract thinking will always strive in vain to represent the infinite. For no form of finiteness, to which thought and speech also belong, can express the infinite, nor can that which was timed express the timeless and eternal, nor can thought resultant from the chain of causation grasp the causeless or self-existent. So in every way, and from every angle of view, we discover that the concept of infinite space is a noble and worthy symbol of that, which we mean when we try to think of the infinite unmanifest, of the essence of being before manifestation into activity and form. The first aphorism states that the eternal parent was wrapped in the sleep of the cosmic night. In this sentence, there is a reference to that teaching concerning the cosmic days and nights, which under some of many names is found lying at the base of all esoteric teachings and occult philosophies. The highest human and superhuman intelligence have testified to the fact that rhythm is abiding in and manifest through the cosmos. From the tiniest point of manifested being to the totality of being, there is found to ever exist the presence and manifestation of rhythm. There is reported to us from the highest occult sources of information the fact that the all presents itself alternately in great periods of manifestation, called the cosmic days, followed by a like great period of unmanifestation, called the cosmic nights. During the cosmic night, the eternal parent exists as if wrapped in an unconscious and a dreamless sleep, from which, with the dawn of the new cosmic day, it awakens gradually into manifestation. The cosmic day, in turn, gradually finds itself changing into a twilight, which slowly but surely darkens into the cosmic night, when all again is stilled and quiet. And so on and on and on, in infinite sequence and repetition, in infinite rhythm, the cosmos presents the succession of days and nights, of manifestation and unmanifestation. And so it has been forever and ever, and will continue forever and ever, without end, ceasing, or interruption. Such is the report of the wise, of the illumined teachers of the race. We continue part 1 of Magus Incognito's The Secret Doctrine of the Rosicrucians in the next video.